Okay, let me run through a few slides that relate to our MSc programs. I'd just like to introduce them to you and say a little bit about how they work, how they're structured, and the kinds of things we do to help you learn about drug discovery at UCL. And I just need to activate my slides. So, first of all, let me tell you about where the courses run. So, we are based in the School of Pharmacy, which is the building you can see on the slide. The School of Pharmacy is one of the oldest in the UK. It was established in 1842, and it's a specialist department now of UCL. We merged with UCL in 2012, and we're dedicated to the teaching and research activities in pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences. In the most recent QS rankings of universities and university subject areas, UCL was ranked third in the world for pharmacy and pharmacology. So, along with our colleagues in the pharmacology department on the main campus, we're quite well regarded internationally as a school of pharmacy. The undergraduate students at our university study just one degree, or in our department study one degree, which is the M-Pharm course, which allows them to graduate as pharmacists. And we run a series of specialized master's courses relating to pharmaceutical sciences. So that's drug discovery. There's some pharmaceutics and there's some pharmacology related courses. We also have a range of clinical pharmacy related postgraduate research and teaching. So the School of Pharmacy is split up into four research departments. Our MSc course in drug discovery, or MSc courses, are largely based in pharmaceutical and biological chemistry. So that relates to the design and synthesis and testing of drug molecules. We also have a pharmaceutics department, which relates to dosage form design and development of new formulations, and a pharmacology department, which is quite heavily focused on neuroscience. So they look at the mechanisms of action and activities of drug molecules and peptides and proteins. And we also have a practice and policy department, which is mainly focused on patients and how patients use medicines and medicine policy. So we have quite a broad range of expertise within the school, but quite focused on pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences. People from these departments contribute to our drug discovery MSc courses. And we are based in central London, quite close to some of the big train stations, King's Cross and St Pancras. The School of Pharmacy, if I point at it with my mouse, is, oh, where is it? Somewhere up here. Um, and the main university campus is just down the road here. So most of our research activities happen in the school. Some of our teaching activities happen here as well, but sometimes on the broader UCL campus. We're quite close to central London. You can walk down to the River Thames and across to Oxford Street and the British Museum and some of the sites and places to visit in London. So a very nice location to study. Our MSc in drug discovery has two main components. So we have an MSc in drug discovery and development and an MSc in drug discovery and pharma management. In both of those courses, we give you some insights into the drug discovery and development process. So there are some shared common modules to both of those courses. In the drug discovery arm, it's slightly more focused on practical skills. So the project is a lab-based project for the most part. That might be computational or doing experiments in a lab. And there are a series of options that allow you to focus in depth on drug discovery areas. So we have options on personalized medicine and immunotherapy and advanced structure-based drug design, for example. The drug discovery and pharma management course has an extra focus on the pharmaceutical industry. So how the industry is regulated and financed how drug companies market their products and commercialize them, and the steps that are required in order to advance a drug molecule through to marketing. And we have a range of external speakers from the pharmaceutical industry who come in to talk about those issues alongside staff from the School of Pharmacy. And the course looks like this. So this is a complicated slide, but I'll try and break it down for you. We have some core modules, which are shown in this sort of orange color. In the first term, which runs from October through to December, students on both courses study two modules. One is the process of drug discovery, and one is modern aspects of drug discovery. So those are about how drugs are discovered and some of the modern techniques that are used in drug discovery and development. There's a lab project and a series of coursework elements to those modules. In January, tomorrow for our students, there is an exam on the FE 20 module. And from January through to March, the two courses have some common features and some differences. In that term, we have this FE 90 module, the process of drug development. So this is about taking discovered molecules through the various steps of preclinical and clinical development. So all of our students do that. Our pharma management students do a 30 credit pharma management module. So that's dedicated to pharma management subjects that I was talking about on the previous slide. And they also have the option to take one of our optional modules. So this spans CNS disorders, personalized medicine, structure-based drug design, immunology, pharmacometrics. There are nanotechnology or nanomedicines modules, and we have a regulatory affairs module as well, and possibly a couple of others that I've forgotten. Our drug discovery and development students do a different core module, which is this FE 89 module, Techniques in Drug Discovery. That's a lab-based module where you learn laboratory techniques that relate to drug synthesis and testing. And our development students also have the opportunity to take one of the optional modules as well. So that's the second term. Our main exam period is in April and May, so that's right at the start of term 3. That's when most of the modules will be examined. So FE 29 has an exam and FE 90. The two bigger modules in term 2 are based on coursework, but the optional modules do have an exam. And in term 3, we have projects. So our drug discovery and development students do a lab-based project. Our pharma management students do a business development project or a pharma management project of some kind. And I'll discuss some of the options for those in the next couple of slides. So that's an overview of how our courses work. Common modules for the first term, a bit of difference in the second term, and then a different project for each type of degree course in the third term. So the whole degree runs from October through to September. It takes 12 months in total to run through the whole program. So drug discovery and development research projects, we have a range of staff in our department and across the School of Pharmacy and university who work in various aspects of drug discovery. So our projects span synthetic chemistry and solid phase peptide synthesis. There's some chemical purification and characterization. We also have colleagues who specialize in computational chemistry and drug design, and there's a crossover with machine learning and AI activities and virtual reality projects as well that kind of span that computational area. And there are also projects that relate to how molecules interact with their targets and how they work in cellular systems. So we have colleagues who focus on cell biology, X-ray crystallography, binding assays, so biophysical assays, and NMR spectroscopy to study biomolecular interactions. So it's possible to do projects in all of those areas across a range of disease targets and therapeutic areas. And for the drug discovery and pharma management projects, these can span activities that relate to management areas in the pharmaceutical industry, developing business cases for particular products or types of product, studying different regulatory requirements in different geographical regions for different types of products. We have students who look at development strategies for medicines and analyze the market for new potential medicines. There is some future opportunity to look at future perspectives in the pharmaceutical industry, for example, increasing use of digital resources and AI within those sectors. Some of our students do those projects within the School of Pharmacy. A lot of them go to external organizations or have external supervisors in the pharmaceutical industry or the biotech or consultancy sectors. So how do we support you whilst you study with us? We have a range of teaching techniques that we use for our students. So we have some large group lectures and seminars for most of the core teaching materials, but we also have small group teaching and workshops and various assignments that go alongside those workshops and tasks. We have laboratory classes that will relate mostly to the drug discovery and development students, but there are one or two classes in the first term that everyone does. And we have a range of self-directed support materials to help you learn about data handling. We help you with oral and poster presentations. If you do the pharma management module, you'll have a Dragon's Den style presentation to do. You've seen that TV program. And of course, everyone will do an individual research project. So we have activities which are whole group, small group, and individual throughout the program. When you join UCL, you will have a personal tutor and they will look after you whilst you are here. You can talk to them about non-academic matters and you can seek academic support from members of staff who run the course and the core teaching team. We have a range of resources that help you with your well-being and your professional development. That might be learning English and learning to carry out scientific writing tasks in English. But there is also support from the library for using IT resources and referencing, etc. And what we aim to do is to provide you with a platform to interact with us, but also with your colleagues on the course to learn from them and to form friendships and working relationships that will be with you for the rest of your life and your working career. Okay, and that kind of brings me to the end of my presentation. So hopefully I might have seeded a few questions with you and we can take those from you if you have any. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can see the chat. Ian's helpfully pointed out that Dragon's Den is a British TV program, but quite widely franchised across the world, I think now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the States it's called the Shark Tank or something like that.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
But I think Dragon's Den is nicer than Shark Tank, at least the title.
Sounds safer, if anything, doesn't it?
Hi, so maybe I have one question or maybe two questions.
Yeah,
I've
of
been
course.
accepted to the Drug Research and Pharma Management program for now 2026 September. And in the second term, we have to choose an elective course. And I wanted to ask what happens if way too many people want to take the same course? You guys have capacity problems where it then it becomes a first come, first serve type of thing, or how do you, yeah.
We do have some capacity limits, but I think for the most part we are able to accommodate people with their first choice. And the choices are made fairly early in the academic year, and that allows us to change rooms if we need more capacity. For the most part. MJ, would you like to add something?
Yes, just to give you some confidence that it's very likely that you will get the optional module that you want. So this current year we have 131 students, 32. And absolutely all of them got the optional module, the first choice of the optional module they wanted to go for. So
Very
it's
nice.
not a big issue at all.
Oh, perfect. That sounds great. And maybe a second question regarding the research project that comes at the end of the program. I saw that you had like the different possible projects listed, but for the drug discovery and pharma management program, can the research project also be an R&D, or does it have to be in the pharma management area? Because you didn't have any pure scientific projects listed in the, yeah.
MJ, your project's
So
maestro.
Jeff is directing the question to me because I'm the module lead of the dissertation module, which is basically the project, the research project that you guys need to complete during the summer. For pharma management students, it's true that usually we don't find much interest in you guys to do an R&D project. Usually you guys, people who go for that stream of knowledge, usually are more directed to or more inclined towards the pharma industry business rather than a lab-based project, if that makes sense. That doesn't exempt you from doing research, like business type of research in R&D, like making a process like more efficient or something like that within the context of an industry or also in the context of a research lab, who knows. But it's true that in principle, lab-based projects like wet labs or computational type of projects are the ones that we give or that we offer to the drug discovery and development students. Because also in term two, pharma management students will be specialized in the pharma management business with the specialized module, whilst the drug discovery and development students will get extra lab skills due to the processes of drug development, drug discovery. FA 89, I don't know the name of the module anymore. So basically during term two, we are training, as I said, in different type of techniques and stuff like that to drug discovery and development students for them to do outstanding in an outstanding they will perform in an outstanding way during the summer, whilst pharma management students are not having that extra support. Does it make sense?
Okay, yeah. But so does that mean that there is no option at all to maybe do it in a, more of a science project? Or is it more of a, gray area where it's possible? Because, for example, I have for my bachelor's, I did molecular biotechnology, so that's purely science-based. And I chose this program because I also wanted some pharma management background, but I'm still not fully, leaning into the pharma management area. So yeah, I just wanted to you know, ask if it's really not possible or if it's, sort of a gray area depending on the student.
It's a very, very fair question. Well, Laura, what do you want to say? And let's see if I can add something to that.
Yes, if you don't mind me asking, because I would like some clarification from you, if you don't mind, Sophie, because I'm getting confused as to what you mean by scientific, because the pharma management project will be scientific in nature, so it won't be a financial analysis exclusively. So obviously you will be welcome to do some financial or economics analysis if you wanted, but it will only always need to be within the remit of drug discovery
Yeah, of course, of course.
discovery process. So I'm not sure what you mean. Is it that you mean hands-on or a lab-based project? Are you referring to a lab-based project or
Yeah,
dry
for
lab project?
example, say a new drug for cancer is a cancer cure, and then you get a data and then you evaluate bioinformatics, something like that.
Yes, that will be in the within the category of the drug discovery and development type of projects. So in
Okay.
principle, drug discovery and development students are going to have a priority to get access to those type of projects because that's basically kind of the stream that they wanted to go for. That's the stream that they chose. If we have a pharma management student with a strong interest in doing a computational based type of a project, we can accommodate that. It's much more difficult, I will say, for the lab-based type of projects because,
Mhm.
as I said, since you won't take the compulsory lab-based module in term two, you are going to be in great disadvantage in comparison to the students who are taking that module. So the supervisor will need to spend much more time in training you
Yeah, of course.
than the other students. So in that case, the supervisor may feel less inclined to choose you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely makes sense.
It's sounding awful. I'm so sorry.
No, 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 that's it. It absolutely makes sense. I mean, that's why you guys have different programs. But then maybe just like a question to Laura, because you mentioned that even the pharma management projects will have science in them. So
It
to what
will,
capacity would
yes.
that be?
Everyone can, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it will need to be a
Yes.
scientific, yeah, report. And then
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
one more thing regarding the bioinformatics, yeah, aspect that you mentioned. There is a coursework that is based on that. You will be able to use some, I mean, a computational software to analyze. It's obviously, it depends how in depth you would like to go into the topic, but you will be trained, yeah, how to use the software and how to analyze the interactions of the target with of the target with the ligands, things like that. So there will be an
Okay.
opportunity to get some experience on that. Obviously,
Okay.
it won't be as deep as it would be if you
Yeah.
decided to do a project on that, but at least you will get some hands-on experience on the topic, if that is something
Okay.
you're interested in. And then going back to your question about the scientific aspect of the projects, then definitely everyone in the call can confirm that it will need to be scientific in nature. Yeah, so I don't know, analyzing therapeutic areas or things like that, that is always should be within the remit of the drug discovery process. Yes.
Okay.
So
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah.
let me guys to clarify something here. Keep in mind that our course is going to promote you to become a scientist with a strong background in how the pharma business the pharma industry business works. It's not that you are an accountant with some knowledge of science. So it's exactly the opposite. It's basically we're going to train you for the whole year as a scientist, giving you very strong scientific information or a very strong scientific background that you will need to understand what's going on in the pipeline of the industry and stuff. And then also providing you to the pharma management students, providing you with strong background in the pharma industry business. Okay, so everything, even the dissertation projects are going to be scientific based type of projects in terms of it's not just seeing numbers and making stats or anything. It's going to always have like a scientific implication. Like, for example, going to a company and the company provides you with the data of the clinical trials that they have run, and then you make the analysis to achieve some conclusions. But you need to understand the mechanism of action of the drug and the target that the drug is targeting here. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
order
Perfect.
to understand better the results that you are
Yeah.
obtaining.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that also applies then to the program with pharma management as well, right?
that will be pharma
Okay.
management. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not an MBA. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
Because I
no,
wasn't really sure, because it,
no.
it has science, both science and farm management. I wasn't really sure, the how big the farm management part is. Yeah.
No, but it's a
Strong.
question. It's, yeah, it's big.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Super.
But
Thanks, Sophie.
very engaging and rewarding and everything. So the knowledge there is
That's good to
amazing. Okay.
hear. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you,
Let
Sophie.
me try and address a couple of questions from the chat, or at least refer them to people. Um, there's a question about statistical testing and learning research skills and whether there's any opportunity to do this. So this crops up throughout the course, but particularly for the techniques in drug discovery module for the drug development students. But there are other aspects of this in term one, right? When we look at the research mini project, etc. MJ.
And also for data handling, right, Erica?
Mhm.
So the students are going to be exposed to some numerical analysis and
Yeah,
skills.
that's
Yeah.
true. So yes, so it's part of one of your coursework in term one. You will be given some experimental data, biological activity in data, and then you will be asked to do some research on them, calculate like IC50 values, propose which drug would be best suited for further development. So there is some research skills developed through this coursework in term one, definitely.
Mhm. Hmm.
So yeah, basically we don't have like a module only talking about
Mm.
this type of teaching you about this type of learning research skills. Basically, you will see them throughout the whole year in the different pieces of coursework and obviously during your dissertation.
Yeah.
There is the optional module in term two, pharmacometrics. I'm not completely familiar with what they teach there, but I'm assuming there would be an element on statistical analysis as well. But we can try to see, yeah, how in deep they go, really, because I'm not, you guys know.
Yeah,
Um,
pharmacometrics. The pharmacometrics option is really about quantitative pharmacology. So if you take that option, there is quite a lot of detail about analyzing research data within that module. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, our next question is about the selection process for drug discovery and pharma management students who would like to work with an industry partner. When do we start the selection process? I feel like this is an MJ question.
Thank you. So for pharma management students, the dissertation module is going to be presented or introduced to you all. I mean, drug discovery, pharma management, and also drug discovery and development students. The dissertation module will be introduced to you towards the end of term one. In that lecture, I'm going to explain you how the selection process is going to work, which ones are the available projects for drug discovery and development students, the projects that are going to be either computational or lab-based projects here in the School of Pharmacy, but also to tell you which ones are the projects that you can do or where you can do the projects if you are a pharma management student. If you are a pharma management student, there are basically three types of projects. Type 1 is when you have a very clear idea about what you want to do as a dissertation project, and you know the company where you want to do your project, you know the department when you want to do the project, and somehow you either have a connection or you establish a connection with that particular department. So in that case, it's you actually approaching the company, telling them, I'm very keen in doing this particular or researching this particular aspect with you guys. And if they say yes to you, it's just a matter of us establishing a formal collaboration between the company and UCL. So that will be type 1 project. Type 2 project is the one where basically the companies that have been collaborating with us for years and years and years, since 2012 when we started with this course, companies that know how well we train our students, how well we teach you, and how good you guys are basically. So they are the ones who come to us offering projects in order to recruit some of our students to do the research project with them during the summer. These are companies, as I said, who know us for many years. We also know them. They know which ones are our requirements. We know which ones are their needs. So it's a well established collaboration between companies and the course. So it will be a matter of applying to those projects that these companies are offering, and then the company will be the one who runs the selection process. So it's not on us, it's on the company who will run certain interviews based on the CV, cover letter that you will put together in order to apply to those projects. And there is a type 3 project. The type 3 project is when you have a very clear idea about the research project that you want to run, but you don't want to run it linked to a company. A very good example for that was, for example, as a student who years ago wanted to wanted to analyze how the Obamacare plan, I don't know if you guys have heard about that plan that Barack Obama tried to implement in the US, how the Obamacare plan was going to affect to the healthcare system in the US in comparison to the current health system. So basically, this student had this very clear idea about what they wanted to do, what they wanted to analyze, what they wanted to research during the summer. And basically, what we did was to, okay, allow him to conduct that type of research, and then they will get the support of one of our internal supervisors. Internal supervisors are academics within the pharmaceutical and biochemistry department. So basically, with the help of the internal supervisor and also the engagement of the student, they are able to complete such a good quality dissertation project. So those are the three type of projects that we have for our pharma management students, and the three of them receive either distinction, merit, or just a pass, or even fail. So it's not that going for type 1 type 1 type of project is going to give you better grades later on or anything like that. And something that I'm going to say straight away is that I'm not in favor. I'm not a fan of the graduate schemes so for you guys to join a graduate scheme in a company to complete your dissertation project. And why I'm saying that, because usually these graduate schemes in companies, they don't allow you to use the information you are getting out of the graduate scheme program for you to complete your dissertation. So that will mean that you will need to be working on the graduate scheme program in the morning and in the dissertation in the evening. So just for you guys to know, the companies that we establish collaborations with, they need to know which ones are the requirements from UCL, and we do assess them, if that makes sense. So even if you approach companies, we will need to meet with the company to confirm that they are going to treat you fairly. I hope that makes sense.
Super. Thanks, MJ.
Long answer.
Let's have a slight detour into career prospects. Are there many people who go on to do a PhD from the management course? I can give a very quick answer to that in that we have students who go on to do PhDs from both of our programs. Is there anything you would like to add to that, MJ? You follow our alumni quite closely.
And yeah, and the same. We have also many drug discovery and development students who also decide not to do their PhDs and go straight to the pharma industry business. So we have both cases, and I have to tell you guys, we train you very well in order to succeed in an amazing way, whatever decision you decide to make later on in your future.
This is another project question. For the drug discovery and development project, is there a possibility of working in a lab involved in research testing, or is it specific to techniques listed before?
Yes, actually, the possibility is there. It's just a matter of, as I said, this will be kind of a type 1 type of project where the student is the one who has a very strong desire of completing their project, their lab-based research project within a specific company. So then they approach the company, the company, let's say, they say yes. So we will need to meet with them to confirm that actually the project that they are offering it's aligned to what UCL believes. Project have to be for the dissertation module. But yeah, the answer is definitely yes.
Okay, super. Thank you. The next question is about would applying for both courses lower my chances of getting accepted by either? I think the short answer to that is no. We kind of evaluate the two programs independently, and we don't look at other courses students have applied for. So we consider you purely on the merits and your compatibility with either of our programs. So you can apply for both if you wish. And that is fine. Yeah, so that's definitely an option. Is it possible to choose two optional modules rather than one? We don't have the capacity to change our core module allocations for the programs, so we can only offer the opportunity to take one optional module. It is possible if there's space in the timetable to attend some of the lectures, if there's space and if the course, the module organizer is willing. So it is possible to go along to some of the other sessions if there's something really interesting to you, but we can only allow you to sort of enroll and be assessed on one of those optional modules. And that's just due to the number of credits we offer on the course and the way it's structured. So I guess it's important to choose your options carefully, but as I say, there is sometimes an opportunity to attend other lectures if they're of interest to you. There's a question about admissions, which is if you receive an offer in 26 but are seeking funding, is it possible to defer? I think that is a question that you would have to direct to our postgraduate office to check whether you would just defer your application to the next academic year or whether you would need to reapply. I have a feeling you can probably defer, but we'd need to check that. So we can put the email address in the chat for that. Unless you know the answer to this, Ian, is it something you know? Okay. We'll put the our top postgraduate office email address in the chat, and you can ask that question of them because they will give you a more authoritative and accurate answer to that question. So just let me type this while I stop talking briefly. So that's the email address in the chat for questions relating to admissions and deferrals and such like. Okay, there is a question about how many places are usually available with industry partners to recruit students for, I assume this relates to projects.
Yes, it's for the research project. Yeah, exactly. So I have to say, well, for drug discovery and development students, usually we don't send our students to companies. So in that case, the answer will be, if not zero, almost. But still, we allow our students, our drug discovery and development students, to conduct their research in other departments within UCL. They don't have to be only here in the School of Pharmacy. The project can also be done in other departments in UCL. In terms of pharma management students and the companies offering projects to our students, I have to say I'm very proud that last year 70% of our students actually got an external placement in companies, either because they were very enthusiastic and engaging and they were able to get new companies out of their own interest for working there. So type 1 type of project. So we had many students going for that option, but also, as I said, we've been running the pharma management course for now 14 years. Companies know us, they know how well we train you guys, so they keep providing with projects. So it's very, very rewarding seeing that. It's true that even though I'm saying that 70% of our students went to external placements last year, the type 2 type of projects, the ones where the companies are offering projects, is a selection process. So basically, some students do better than others during the interview process, they are going to be the ones getting the placements. And we have seen cases where the companies haven't found the right candidate, and then the project gets empty. Nobody takes the project. So my advice is for the type 2 type of projects, use it as a real interview and potential working experience. The application process, but also the interview process if you are shortlisted. I hope that makes sense.
Thanks, MJ. The next question is, what are we looking for in a successful applicant or student? I am looking through admissions applications at the moment. So we're looking for students with at least some element of chemistry or biochemistry in their undergraduate degree, and students from a range of disciplines. So it might be chemical sciences or biological sciences, medical or pharmacological backgrounds. We're quite diverse in the students we accept to the program, but usually it's some kind of biosciences, pharmaceutical sciences, chemical sciences type background with that indicates some experience of chemistry or biochemistry in your undergraduate program. Now, that might be just one module right at the beginning, sort of introductory biochemistry or chemistry for biologists or something of that kind, or it could be a full-on chemistry degree. And that just reflects the fact that drug discovery, particularly small molecule drug discovery, has an element of molecular structure in there, and there is some exposure to things of that kind. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for students who are enthusiastic about drug discovery and have motivation to study in that field and career aspirations in that area, I guess. I think that's probably a fair quick summary of what we're looking out for in your applications and personal statements. Other opportunities to do scientific outreach work as part of the program. Well, we have student representatives on our course, and they help us with aspects of recruitment sometimes, and are kind of ambassadors for the course. I have a project student for this year who's going to do a bit of tutoring externally during the summer in Oxford. But I guess some of those opportunities are sort of related to activities students come up with themselves rather than things we organize kind of proactively. MJ.
Yes, but if you are interested in educational scientific research, we do have a lot of outreach activities that I personally lead. So definitely, you will be very welcome actually to join us. But yeah, it's just a matter of expressing which ones are your interest to your personal tutor once that you get assigned your own one, and they will help you to try to accommodate your wishes.
Okay, thank you. Next question is it possible to apply for multiple research projects? That is certainly something our students do in the drug discovery and development stream, in that you prioritize a list of supervisors you would like to work with. So in that respect, it's possible to apply for multiple projects. I guess the same is true for pharma management, where you have various opportunities that come up from industry and perhaps your own ideas for projects as well. So that kind of spans multiple opportunities that you can select from. I think that's probably fair. Is part-time work perhaps at UCL possible alongside the course? I think you need to bear in mind that the course is full-time and reasonably intensive. So we want our students to prioritize attending university during usual working hours when the timetable is set. And we expect our students to be able to attend all of the sessions that are for their course and for their modules. We do have students who do bits of part-time work alongside that, but please bear in mind that yeah, it's a full-time course and you're expected to be on campus when you have taught materials being delivered. Going back to career prospects, do any of the companies offer internships or contracts after the course is completed? What different job roles do alumni venture into? MJ, do you want to
Yeah,
take?
sure, of course. So yes, companies, if we have seen the cases where companies have offered job offers after the summer has ended, if you guys are basically astonishing your colleagues at the company. So that's definitely something that happens. It doesn't happen to all our companies or with all our the companies that offer projects, definitely. And as I said, for the ones that has worked out in that way, is just because you guys have done an amazing job. It's not that by establishing a collaboration with UCL, we require that they will hire you later on or anything like that. Not at all. So it's only based on your performance and if the company is keen actually in keeping you. And in terms of the different job roles that our alumni end up doing, my advice is go to we have a LinkedIn page where only alumni from current students and alumni from our courses are accepted there, but it's a public LinkedIn page. It's called MSc Drug Discovery UCL SOP. My advice is no, MSc Drug Discovery, UCL SOP, LinkedIn page. I'm going to write it in the chat in a second. Basically, you will find connected to that page only alumni from our course, and my advice will be to go there and check which ones are the jobs that they are currently holding. In some cases, you will see that people are, after completing their PhDs, they are already in academia or they are already setting their own labs as independent investigators in terms of pharma management students or the ones who were pharma management students. You will see that they are also getting into regulatory affairs or into market access, into different parts of what the pharma industry business provides, marketing, sales, I don't know, many things. And because we have been running, as I said, these courses for many years, you will see how high actually they get into their companies. Also analysts, many different roles, and also the companies where they started their career as an idea potentially for you to approach this company saying that you are one of our students and see if they will offer projects to you, since they already know how well we train you throughout the alumni who was working there. They are probably much more inclined to say yes to the option of offering you a project if you are one of our students.
Certainly have alumni in a range of different activities and, as you say, at different levels of seniority because the course has been running for quite a long time. So we have company directors through to research scientists. And some of our alumni come to give talks as external speakers on the program as well. So you can see those people when they come in to talk to you. Okay.
Sorry. I
Yeah,
have
of
one more
course.
question to MJ regarding the research project, because you mentioned, you can do it in the industry where you reach out and if they like it, they take you. Does the company need to be in England or the UK, or is it also possible for the research project to take place in the EU, for example?
Super happy to accommodate projects overseas. That's not a problem at all. Even in China, the US, we had a student who years ago was conducting her project in Mexico, in Cancun. So yeah, definitely any part of the world.
And then the project is in 3 months, or it should be 3 months long, right?
Yeah, so basically it goes from the end of the term two exams. So basically, imagine that you finish your exams on the 15th of May. So the project will start on the 16th. Directly after the exams end, the project will start and you will be researching the project until the end of July because we would like to save August for you guys to write up the dissertation. At the end of the day, you are going to end up being marked based on what you write in the dissertation. So we want you to give you enough time for you guys to write an excellent dissertation in order to get the best grades possible. So it's
Okay.
usually around 2 months and a half or so.
Okay, and it's also like a fixed deadline. It cannot be made longer.
You guys are adults, so I
Mhm.
cannot stop you from under your own responsibility to continue the collaboration with the company during the August period of time. My advice, our advice, is use that period of time for you to write up the dissertation because we want you to get the best grades possible, but help me to help you. So
Yeah, no, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you start distracting yourself from writing the dissertation by continuing with the collaboration of the company or doing something else, it's something that we cannot stop you from doing. Does it
Yeah, of
make sense?
course. Yeah, but it's the fixed 3 month schedule, and it can't be made 4 months or 5 months. It's fixed because then it enters the next year, I guess.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
Yes,
runs
and
into the next academic year,
yeah.
and we have an exam board, which
exactly.
is the point at which degrees are
Uh-huh, okay.
awarded. So that we need to have everything marked and checked and verified by our external examiners for that meeting. Yeah.
All right,
So the
perfect.
submission of the dissertation is fixed, and the oral presentations dates are also fixed. So that's something we cannot move.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, everyone. You've asked a very comprehensive range of questions. So thank you for doing that. You've covered everything we usually cover in these meetings, I think. So hopefully we've been able to deliver most of the information that we usually do in these sessions. If anything else crops up, please feel free to email one of us or our talk postgraduate teaching office, and they can direct the question to us, or they can handle it themselves if it relates to the admissions process. And we will try and help you.